Oh, look. They're spraying some kind of gas. It must be water. Nope. Nope. It's the dreaded DDT. DDT is good for me. Nah, yeah. It's not good for me. Not for me. That's what you should be singing. Not good for me. Not is not for me. That's what you should be singing. But unfortunately, this was created when DDT was hailed as the miracle of miracles. Where it was like insecticide. Literally, look at this advertisement. DDT, powerful insecticide, harmless to humans. Yeah, harmless to humans. Yeah, as if that's correct. But we'll figure this out soon enough. But that is not the whole point of this video. This video is not supposed to be a rant against DDT. Okay, who am I kidding? This is a rant against DDT. Why rant against DDT though? Simple answer. This book. Boombaya, Silent Spring, the whole thing that actually started this entire mess. What started off as an ingenious discovery, well, originally this chemical was first synthesized in 1874 by none other than this Austrian scientist, well, technically chemist. Apparently this is his name, Ottmar Zeidler. Ottmar Zeidler, that is the name of the Austrian chemist who first created DDT. And this was created long before we even find out about its insecticidal benefits. DDT is good for me? Nope. And then, suddenly, in 1945, some guy named Paul Herman Mueller, went ahead and, how can I mention this? Literally went ahead and discovered that it had insecticidal stuff inside of it, how it can kill insects, but as it so seems, doesn't harm us humans. So, with this miracle chemical, we went ahead and put a war on insects, and we pretty much killed pretty much every insect out there. Until we realized that miracles, if abused, will be your downfall. And when something becomes your downfall, you know that it's weird. First of all, I want to explain to you how DDT works. This is not the chemical formula, this is the chemical compound itself. This is a visual representation of the chemical compound. First off, the full name of DDT is this long word. They didn't even bother to go ahead and split it. If I know I can say it correctly, it's dichlorodiphenyl trichloroethane. Dichlorodiphenyl trichloroethane. I'm pretty sure I did my best trying to say that. Or you could just call it by its shorthand, C14H9Cl5, which means it has 14 carbons, 9 hydrogens, and 5 chlorines. What, you didn't take me for a science nerd? And then it goes ahead and creates this. 3 chlorines branched into one chain that goes and branches off into 2 chains, and it has these two. These are the carbons. This is where all the carbons are. I'm pretty sure carbons for some reason are always not shown. We have double bonds and everything, and they're bonded towards all these other chlorines as well too. And I'm pretty sure somewhere here there's hydrogens. I still haven't learned that yet. What a shame. I'll learn it in grade 9. And as a result of this miracle chemical, we discovered how it works. And so I'll show you how DDT works. First of all, I found this pretty amazing ad on the internet. This is a pretty old ad, so I'm pretty sure I won't get legally confined. First of all, here's an insect. Here's an insect, and it goes ahead and it just walked on some DDT. There's some DDT on this. And as it walked onto some DDT, DDT itself enters through the nervous system. It goes ahead and infiltrates the nervous system. And watch what happens. As soon as it infiltrates the nervous system, it goes into the brain. And first, the fly is paralyzed. Then it kills. First of all, you can always use it as a spray. Here's the solid form, and here's a liquid form. And as you can see, people were spraying all these things pretty much everywhere, including apparently in the piano board, which is, I'm pretty sure, one place where you're not supposed to spray stuff inside, because the piano keys are pretty sensitive, if I know from experience. Look at how much DDT she's spraying. As a result, we got something insect spray, which this one itself contains 50% of DDT too, and this destroys many common insects. Loads of them as well too. And look at the label. It literally specifically states use on potatoes, peas, corns, fruits, and ornamentals. Potatoes! Your food! They literally say spray this on your food. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You won't die. Well, sucks to be you, I suppose, because unfortunately to you, this miracle chemical itself is going to become your downfall. Here's how DDT spreads through the environment, courtesy of Rachel Carson's Silent Spring. How it works is that, first of all, someone gets exposed with DDT, most likely the female, because it has to be the female, apparently. Then the female goes ahead and spreads all that DDT towards her offspring. Either through the genetic way, either through the ways of, like, chemicals, or just feeding them her breast milk. The DDT has entered her pretty much every part of her body through the nervous system. It doesn't affect herself for some reason, and then we go ahead and it spreads towards everywhere, and eventually you get some weird results. DDT itself has been shown to cause cancer, or at least at the time when this book was written, it was supposedly supposed to go ahead and cause cancer. Rachel Carson herself died from breast cancer. She was hiding it all the way through. No wonder she kind of hated DDT. As well as how much DDT seemed to be a wonder miracle, it was supposedly a devil in disguise. The devil itself being the miracle chemical that we all try to love. And this photo itself is kind of creepy, because I thought it was supposed to be, apparently this is an adult, but I thought it was a baby, and the baby himself is going ahead and spraying through all the insects. The insects have no chance against DDT, I suppose, and in fact no one does, but it's been like 50 years since the banning of DDT, and if you try to use DDT now, all the insects are going to be immune to it, because, well, even if the United States of America stopped using it in 1975, other places kept using it until like a few decades later, at most. Now DDT is banned worldwide except for in certain laboratory cases, and even then you're supposed to be highly containing it. What was once supposed to be one of the most public and most miracle chemicals in the entire world has turned into one of the most nastiest devils. Now pretty much almost loads of insects are immune against DDT too. You know how adaptation works, right? An adaptation that's preferred gets to survive and pass on their genes, and as soon as you pass on the genes that resist you against DDT, bye-bye DDT, it's game over. You're going to need a new chemical. And once one of the most harmless things in humankind we went ahead and found out was apparently one of the most harmful substances to humankind. I mean, how did you think it would not be harmless? It has literally 5 chlorines inside of it. The carbons and the hydrogens, they're harmless enough. We're made of carbon and hydrogen. But the chlorine, our only exposure to chlorine should be in pools, like public pools. And even then, they shouldn't even enter our body. But DDT itself, this wonder chemical, is now in its downfall. And we've already approached 50 years since it was banned in the United States of America. And as a result, we went ahead and got this Silent Spring movement into a whole new level. And through this chain link process that I told you about, and the chemical formula about DDT itself, no wonder all these things that were shown to kill flies and other insects became one of the most dangerous substances of all time. So, purpose of this video, beware DDT. Do not go ahead and go near DDT, even if it is banned, and you'll probably never even see the DDT in your life. Beware dichlorodiphenyl trichlorophane, and beware all the other substances. Always think of all the things that you can do to the environment. Man's fight against the environment will inevitably be a fight against himself. Anyway, one more story I wanted to tell you about is, like, apparently my mom and dad have experienced DDT themselves firsthand. So a story I was told by my mom was, like, she went ahead and as a kid would go because she was born in like the 1970s, right? And so as a kid, she was used to seeing all this DDT stuff spraying around, except she didn't know it was DDT. And apparently her friends would call it the farting car, and they would go ahead, chase it, literally go inside, do mischievous things within the gas, because you can't see through the gas. Nothing can see through the gas, and he would literally walk around, chase it. My dad did that too. So that's just one thing I want to tell about. Horrifying to know that there's DDT in my body. But probably small amounts of it, and I won't die. I'll survive. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope to see you guys soon. Until next time, Shahana, peace. Bye-bye.